Good morning, super secret Bricks here to review all the Power Miner sets from the first wave. Today we're having a quick look at the set 8957 Mine Mech, released in 2009. It has 62 parts, as well as 2 characters. The first character is Dr. Brains, which has test tube on the torso to identify him, and it comes with a secondary face, a scared one. Note, on his eye he's got sort of a futuristic glass on his eye, and it looks like there's a pattern of a rock jewel on the center of it. It's quite difficult to say. And also quite subtle to notice, there's a thin moustache in grey printed just over the lip. Now we're back to the main face, the serious one, and if you look closely, we can also see some light grey eyebrows just over the glasses, the glasses here. Our second character is the trans green rock monster Bouldorox. Like every Power Miner's rock monster, Bouldorox is able to rotate his arms, like this, the 2 of them. He can open his top jaw, which is actually clipped up at the top. And there's some space inside, allowing him to eat power crystal. Bouldorox loves to eat transgreen power crystal, and whenever he does, he shakes and creates an earthquake. On the hands, we can see there's a bar size clip right there. At the top is at the top of the hand there's a stud where we can attach the crystal, and at the bottom of the hand too. Now let's have a closer look at the Mine Mech. There's a front sticker here, you'll notice, saying number 2, because all the Power Miners vehicles have numbers on them. Right, in the first wave there are 7 vehicles, and they are numbered from 1 to 7. We got the cockpit right behind it, which has 2 levers for the pilot to control, a seat for the pilot over there. We have 2 clips for accessories, a pickaxe and a dynamite bundle, a part that was created for this film but is still used today. Closing the cockpits, well, closing is a big word, is a roll cage that was especially created for the Rock Miner film in 2009, but is still used since. You can see it's quite brittle because it's attached at the back with 6 studs, and somehow it's not enough in terms of clutch power. At the top is a trans-orange light, and then regarding the legs, it's quite simply built using the Exoforce ball sockets and joints. We have hip articulation, we have ankle articulation, but we don't have any knees articulation. And it's actually quite enough to be able to pose the mech, as long as you try to keep the balance with the arms. So the center of gravity is quite heavy here, and if you want to make a pose, you have to take that into account. Just like this, up. You can easily do a walking pose by making sure that one part of the foot is on the ground to make a dynamic pose like this, and then yeah, you have stances. You can make it crawl. Articulations are okay, right? They're great. They're not like perfect, but it allows to do a lot of things. And finally, we have the arms. Again, this time it's using the bionicle part as the socket, and yeah, still using ball joints. We only have shoulder articulation, and on the wrist/elbow it is not articulated. It's an axle that's held in place on both sides. So one arm is a chainsaw of some sort that you can actionate behind by gripping the gear and rotate it. You have to make sure that you don't squeeze too much at these parts, otherwise there's going to be a lot of friction and you won't be able to turn it, to spin it easily. So if you make sure that there's enough gap, then it's gonna be able to turn much easier. And finally, on the other arm, we have claws. The claws are here to be able to grab at stuff. One thing you need to know about Dr. Brains right here is that his mission is not to collect the power crystal. Like, he's got a personal agenda, and it is precisely to capture all the rock monsters and study them. And so his Mine Mech allows him to grab the rock monster like this and bring it back to the lab. There's actually more parts that can break easily, so you really have to be careful. So on the cockpit, this part right here at the front often breaks off when you remove and put the minifig back in the seats. And yeah, so here, because it's only a one unit size axle right here, for some reason when you move stuff a lot, the axle tends to pop off like this, so you have to be careful with that. In terms of color scheme, the Mine Mech follows the Power Miners color scheme of lime and orange. So the lime is the highlight and the orange is to indicate feature. So here the chainsaw is in orange because you can turn it, and the pincers, the grabbing arm, is also in orange because you can actionate it to do some rock monster grabbing action. It is worth noting that the trans green crystal is actually quite rare. So it was introduced in this set and also comes in a couple of sets. Like, I think there are 3 sets, 2 promotional ones and 1 superhero set from 2012, and that's about it. That was the only times we've seen it in trans green. In my opinion, this is an okay set. I really like mechs, Lego mechs, but this one is a bit of a disappointment. It's so fragile that it becomes a bit annoying, and it's not, you know, sometimes Lego releases great mechs and they look great and they are fragile, so you're like, okay, so it's sort of a compromise. But here it doesn't look that great in my opinion, and it is too fragile to be enjoyable, really. The rock monsters and the characters are great. Having some accessories is good too, but I don't think it redeems the set. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a set that you really like, and do you find the Brittonless too frustrating? In any case, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did. I post new content every Wednesdays and sometimes on Saturdays. So if you want to get notified when the new Power Miners reviews get out, just click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.